So what we're going to do below the services section is create this call to action right here. So we'll have a background image and two call to actions with buttons that link to different pages on our WordPress website. So if you want to make this section on your WordPress website, let's go back to our home page, and we want to click on the edit page link up here to go back and edit our home page. So click on this link. And once you're back on the edit page, the first thing that we're going to do is add a new row underneath the services row. So click on the add row button and come over here and change the number of rows from 2 to 1, and then come to the row style section over here. And we're going to go in here and change the layout really quickly. So click on layout to expand this section. And the first thing that we're going to do is put in some top and bottom padding. So again, let me go to the demo website just to show you. The top padding is up here and the bottom padding is up here. And really what it is just spacing between these other two sections. So we want to reduce this. So what I want to do on the WordPress website that we're making is I want to put in 50 here because the default is 100 px. So that's just going to reduce it a little bit. And then what we want to do is come down to row layout. And for this row, we want to select the full width option so that this row goes from one side all the way to the other. And then what we can do is just go back up here and collapse this. And what I want to do now is go down to the design tab and click and expand that. And what I want to do for the WordPress website that I'm making is put in a background image. And if you want, you can have a background color, or you can just leave this section white if you want. But if you want to add an image like the demo website, what I want you to do is come down to the background image section and click on select image. And then you can upload your own image if you want, or you can use the demo content if you're in the media library right here. And what I want you to do is find this image right here. So this is the background.jpg. So once you select that, you should see the check mark right here, and you can click done right here. And now you should see the background image get inserted right here. And if you ever want to change this, click on select image again, or you can remove it by clicking on remove right here. All right, so the last thing that I want to note in the design tab for the row right here is the overlay section. So if you have a background image, then you might get an overlay for this row. So let me show you what I mean on the demo WordPress website. You can see that this is the row that we're creating, and we have our background image right here. And the image is actually brighter than what you see right here. What's covering the image is an overlay. So we have a darker tint on top of the image, and that's what we call an overlay. So if you want that, you want to make sure that this is unchecked right here so that the overlay shows up. If you want to change the overlay color, you can come down here and then you can go into this color pad right here and then change the color to whatever you want. And if you want to disable the overlay, just check this box right here, and then you'll see the original background color and image and everything. All right, so I like the overlay that we have with this background image, so I'm going to leave everything as the default. And once you're ready, all we have to do to create this new row is click on insert. And now you should see your row get inserted right here. And if you ever need to move it around, you can click the up and down arrow and place it wherever you want. And if you want to delete this row, just hover over the wrench and click on delete row. So once you insert your row right here, what we want to do now is add a widget called the layout builder. So click on the button that says add widget and find the layout builder widget and click on that. And you should see it get inserted right here. And what the layout builder does is it allows you to create rows inside a row. So on the demo WordPress website, you can see that we have this section right here that we're trying to make. And we have one big row, and what we're going to do is add a row for the title for this section, and then another row with two columns for the two call to actions right here. So in order to create this layout, we have to use the layout builder widget. So on the WordPress website that we're making, we inserted the layout builder right here, and what I want you to do is click on the edit link right here. And you should see this pop up that looks very similar to the page builder. And the first thing that we're going to do is add the row for the section title. So click on add row and change the row layout to 1. And what I like to do is come to the layout tab. And for this, I want to add 9px to the top and bottom padding. So you can do the same, or you can play around with this if you want, or you can leave it as the default. So if you do, then don't put anything in here at all. And once you're ready, go ahead and click the insert button, and you'll see your row get inserted right here. And now to add the title for this section, click on add widget and find the text widget and click on that, and you'll see that the widget gets inserted right here. And now if we click on the edit link, we have the text widget, and we can just add our title right here. So I'm going to go to the demo WordPress website and just highlight this text and copy this. So it says find out what we're all about, and just paste it in right here. And once you do this, there's one thing that I want to note. So if you come down to the design tab, and if you open this up and come down here, you'll notice that there is a widget title color and a headings color option right here. So by default, these widgets have these colors selected for you for the title and then for your headings. So if you want to change these colors for your title and your headings, you have to come in here each time and change the colors on your own. Your font and links color are going to default to whatever you selected when you went into your theme options and customized your colors. But for the widget title and headings colors, you have to come in here and change the color codes. So if I don't change the color code, it's going to default to this darker color. But what I want is this red color that you see on the demo WordPress website. So if you want the same color that I have, what we have to do is go to the text tutorial on how to make a WordPress website for free. And on step number 20, if I come down here, I have the color code that I want. So if I highlight this, which is D63737, and I copy that and go back to the WordPress website that I'm making. And for the widget title color, I click on select color and delete the color code here and paste in the new one. You can see that the widget title color changes to the red color that I want. Okay, so just keep that in mind. If you create some widgets with different text and the colors aren't showing up correctly, you have to come in here and change them. And then for this section also, what you can do is customize the font color to something different than your site colors by changing the font colors here. Otherwise, again, these are going to default to the options that you selected in the theme options section that we did a little earlier. Okay, so if I confused you, leave a comment in the section below and I'll get back to you. Hopefully I didn't. But again, all I'm saying is if you want the right title color, you have to come in here and change it to the color code that you're using. So once you're ready, go ahead and click done. And now what we want to do is add our second row for our two call to actions. So click on add row and leave the row layout as 2 up here. And if you ever want to change the ratios for these 2 rows or these 2 boxes, just go in here and you can always just change the percents and they'll always add up to 100%. And you can see that the ratio changes right here. So we're going to leave this as 50% for each of these so that it's even right now. And what I want you to do is come over here to the layout tab and click and expand this. And we're going to put in 0 for the top and bottom padding right here. And I think that's all we're going to do. So we can just come down here and click insert. And now I want to add 2 widgets called the call to action widget, one over here and one over here. So let's click on add widget and find the Sydney FP call to action widget. So click on that. And if it gets added right here, that's okay. We can just click and drag it to wherever we want to place it. And you can add another one over here. Or what you can do is click on this link that says duplicate and it'll make a copy of it. And since we haven't edited this yet, we can just click and drag it over here. So now what we want to do is customize each of these call to actions. So what we're going to do is click on the left-hand side on the edit link right here. And now you should see this pop up. And what we're going to do is put in a call to action, a link for our button, and a title for our button. So I'm going to leave the title blank. And what we want to do first is go and get some text for our call to action. So on the demo WordPress website, I can just highlight this text. And this is the call to action. So it says, take some time and meet our employees. And I can just paste that in right here. And then for the link for this button, what I want you to do is go to the text tutorial on how to make a WordPress website for free. And on step number 20 right here, creating the call to action, down here you should see a URL. So it's on step number 21. and it says http://www.yourwebadress.com/employees. So what I want you to do is either copy this or type it into the WordPress website right here. So if I paste that in, all you need to do is delete where it says your web address and replace it with your website name. So I can type in how to Webby, and what we're going to do is link this to the employees page that we're going to create a little bit later. And you can always come back in here and update this link to another page if you want. All right, so the last thing that we're going to do right here is put in a title for our button. So I'll type in meet the team. And we're going to leave this box unchecked. And what I want you to do is come to the design tab, and I want to change some colors. So if we come down to the widget title color, I don't think we need to change this, but I'm going to go in here and just clear this. And then for the headings color, what I want to do is change the call to action color from this darkish black color to this silverish gray color. So what I'm going to do is go to the text tutorial, and right here is the color code that I want, which is 8C8C8C, and copy that, and then go back over here and click select color, and then just delete this and paste in that color code, and you can see that the color changes right here. So one other thing, if you want the darker background right here for this box around the call to action, what you want to do is paste in some custom CSS. So on the text tutorial right here, down at the bottom in this section, I have this custom CSS. What you want to do is copy this. So from where it says background to the semicolon, and then go back to the WordPress website and go up on these tabs over here to the attributes tab, and then paste that into the CSS styles. So I'll give you a second to look at this custom code right here. And again, this is on the text tutorial, and you can just paste this in, and that's going to give you this box. Otherwise, this is going to be clear, and you'll just see the background. So I like how this separates the call to actions from the entire row. Okay, so you can always play around with that stuff and do whatever you want. You don't have to follow along exactly. But once we're done with this, we are done creating our first call to action. So now we can click done. And now what we want to do is just create our second call to action. So we're going to do this a little quicker. So hover over the second call to action and click on the edit button. And again, you'll get this pop-up. And I'm just going to go to the demo website and just copy this text for the call to action that says review some facts about us, and paste that in right here. And then I'll go to the text tutorial and just get the second URL that I want. So it's this one right here. So it's going to be http://www.yourwebadress.com/about. So this button is going to link to the about page. So if you need to, you can pause the video and just copy this URL. And I want you to replace your web address with your website name. And again, you can always come in here and update this later. And for the title for the button, we'll just type in facts. And then what I want to do is, again, go to the design tab and come down here and just change these colors. So I'll clear the widget title color, even though I don't need to. And then for the headings color, I'll go in here and I remember the color code. So it's 8C8C8C to change this to a silver gray color. And once I do that, I want to come up here to the attributes tab and get that custom CSS again at the bottom over here in this section, so that I have that box around the call to action. So once you copy this, just go back to the WordPress website that we're making and paste it into the CSS styles box. So if you need to pause the video to type this in, go ahead and do that. Otherwise, once you're ready, we're just going to click the done button right here. And now we are done with this section on our WordPress website. So we can click done right here. And now let's save this before we move on to the next step. So let's click the update button. And once the page is updated, what I want to do is go to the WordPress website that we're building right now, just to make sure that we're all on the same page and everything looks perfect. So let's click on view page right here. And once your WordPress website loads, if we scroll down to the call to action section, this is what you should see right now. So you should have your custom title at the top with the custom color, and then your 2 call to actions right here with the boxes that separate these if you pasted in the custom CSS. And both of these buttons, if you hover over them, should have the primary colors, and they're going to link to different pages that we're going to make on our WordPress website a little bit later. So if this is what you see, then we are good to go. If you see something a little different, then what you want to do is rewatch this section and make sure that you didn't miss any steps. And if you still are having some problems, you can always leave a comment in the comment section and I'll get back to you there.